Let's bring in now Strategic Director for Concerned Veterans for America and U.S. Marine Corps and Army National Guard veteran John Byrnes. John, what's your take on these meetings on Greenland, on Denmark, wanting to keep Greenland, but the U.S. President Trump saying it's going to be ours one way or another?
Well, if you had told me when I was younger that we were talking about invading Greenland, I never would have believed you. But I think it's great that we have a president who's looking to the future and looking to the strategic balance of the world. And I don't know that invading Greenland is the best solution, but I think it's the first time that somebody's taken a serious look at the Arctic. And again, you have a president looking to the future. That's a huge strategic point. You look at the map, you look at the globe, it bookends the Arctic Ocean for North America along with Alaska. The fact that it's part of Denmark, the Danish Navy consists of a force that's 1/10 of the size of the U.S. Coast Guard, never mind, the U.S. Navy. They're just not in a position to do that. If you look at strategies that the U.S. is developing, against competitors like China in the Indo-Pacific, the idea is in part for the Marine Corps to take kind of the littoral coasts of some of those islands and lace them with missiles that would attack the Chinese Navy. We don't want to see anybody doing that in a place like Greenland. I think an economic political solution is much better than a military solution in this case, but there's tons and tons of strategic reasons why, especially that northern barren coast, why we would want that for the U.S. military unimpeded.
Well, the president has said that it's essential to build the Golden Dome. That is a project that the president wants enacted over the United States. It'd be something like what Israel has to intercept any sort of ballistic missiles coming at the U.S. and threatening U.S. cities and states. He also has put forth very clearly in his national security strategy that he wants the United States to dominate our own hemisphere. So this would go along with that. No, just like he wants control over Panama, just like we're taking control of Venezuela.
Long before the idea of a Golden Dome, we've had missile defenses and missile alert systems for decades and decades, for my entire life. And, northern Canada and Greenland have been a key part of that. What was an Air Force mission in Greenland for those decades has recently been taken over by Space Force, but it's a key radar sensor alert station. It's very, very hard to defend. Denmark is certainly not in a position to defend it. Again, I'm not looking to see a military solution. I would prefer that the president and the prime ministers work this out. Economic solution, there was a number being kicked around, 700 billion today, I saw. That certainly would make a population of, even if they only get a part of it, a population of 50,000 Greenlanders suddenly very, very wealthy. And if they get a cut of minerals and oil coming out of the ground as well, it would suddenly, as part of the U.S. or part of the U.S. system or U.S. territory or a different structure politically, it would suddenly become a very, very prosperous part of the globe.
John, to your point, you said $700 billion. We're also seeing that reporting. The entire GDP of Denmark is $430 billion. So this would almost be double their annual GDP if this number, if this offer is true. But John Byrnes, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciated it.
Thanks for having me on.